everybody. I just wanted to come on here and share that today is my sixth year in sobriety. Yay me! It has not been easy. I'm going to tell you that much. 6 years ago when I entered rehab, I did not think I would make it this far. 7 years ago when I entered the world of craziness, after I was evicted from my apartment and my children were taken away from me by CPS, and I lost my fiance at the time to madness, and I decided it would be a good idea to join that community. Yeah, I didn't see this whole sobriety and good life that I have now. Yeah. So, how did I get here today? Well, I have to talk about how I got where I got in the beginning. Like I said, 7 years ago in February, on Valentine's no less, I was evicted from my townhome. My children were taken away by CPS because they found out that I was being evicted and I would be homeless. So that and the eviction itself sent me into a severe depression. They tried to accuse me at that point that I was already on drugs, and I was not. I was completely sober at that point, but they had my family convinced already. So I had already lost my family, and without me knowing it. I went and stayed with my parents for a short period of time after I got evicted, and then I got a job about an hour and a half away from home. So I moved down there, and that made visitation with my daughter and my son very difficult. And then I lost that job because I started using things I should not have to try to take away the emotional damage of losing my children. Like that was a very good idea. Got in the wrong crowd, started dating the wrong people. Let them all tell me that everything was going to be right, that this was a magic substance that was going to make me feel better. Obviously it didn't. It just made things worse. They weren't the nicest people either. They were pretty abusive, to say the least. I went through hell for a year. I tried to get clean and sober in October of 2019. Moved into a sober living house for women. Was doing great. Had some disagreements with the ladies there about my mental health, and did not feel comfortable nor safe in there anymore. Ended up leaving, which was leaving me homeless. Moved in with somebody I didn't know, and that led to falling off the wagon again. By Christmas, I I tried to unalive myself because I missed my kids very much. And by January 18th, which would be today, 6 years ago, I entered rehab. And the reason why I entered rehab is because I was homeless, sleeping in a Dollar General parking lot with nothing but a fleece blanket in the sleeting weather, freezing, with pneumonia, bronchitis, and the flu. I was pretty much outside. Police officer brought me to a homeless shelter. I didn't want to be there. I'd rather had gone to the hospital to get checked out. Got there, asked to go to rehab. Went to rehab for 30 days. Spent the first 2 weeks basically in isolation. Because while I was detoxing, I was also very sick. So you mix detoxing plus the flu, bronchitis, and pneumonia, and you get a very miserable person. And that was me. And I was like that for about a week, and they left me in there for another week just to be on the safe side that I wasn't contagious, because one day I'd have a fever and the next day I wouldn't, and they couldn't tell if it was from detoxing or if it was because I was still sick. So, let's see. When I finally got out of isolation, I did the program like I was supposed to, you know, the therapy, you know, the medications like I was supposed to do, all that. And I did a good job, you know, like, I gave him a hard time. I'm not gonna lie, I did give him a hard time. But, you know, I followed through on everything I was supposed to. But I'm not gonna say I wasn't the easiest person to work with. I'm not the type of person that likes to be told what to do. I don't live by a schedule. So it was definitely hard on some of the nurses to get me, for example, get me up out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning every day. So it was definitely different for me, but I successfully graduated from rehab and then went to a long-term facility for 6 months. It was a 2-year program, but I went for 6 months. Mainly because I met a wonderful woman there. She had been there for just shy of 2 years, and she was getting ready to leave. We were like fast friends, and we decided we were gonna live together, and for 2 years we did. She helped me get on my feet, you know, taught me how to handle stressful situations, you know, helped me get used to having kids around again because she had 2. So I got used to having a family situation around, so that when I got to be around my kids, I wasn't as stressed out. Let's see. And then when she decided she was going to move back home to her home state, I decided to move home to live with my father, which then in turn gave me possession. I don't like the word possession. Custody back of my beautiful daughter, who's about to be 16 in May. So, pray for me. Let's see. I get my son more often now. He lives with his father. It was only supposed to be a temporary thing, but because I live with my father and I do not have an extra bedroom for him, uh, he has to stay with his father. Um, I do end up with him as soon as I have space for him. No rush right now, though. I want to be sure I'm ready to have both of them in the same house, because they really haven't lived together since, she was 9 years old, and he was 6, or he was 1. No, not even 1. He was, sorry, my math is all messed up, since he was 3 and she was 6. My math is horrible. So is my time. Then, so it's been a while since they've lived together. So they do the visitation, and there's some days they get along perfectly, and then there's other days where they're at each other's throats. So there's days I can handle them both living together, and there's days that I just want to go and hide in a hole. So the good things now that I have in my life because of being sober, obviously, are having more visitations with my kids. Having my daughter back is a big thing. I want to say I have a decent relationship. Not every relationship is perfect. We have our fights, but they're nothing at all like what I had in the past. I have my family back in my life. I have a very good relationship with my mother and my one brother. My other brother's stuck in the madness, and there's really no way of pulling him out. We've tried. Then all my bills are paid up, which I've never been able to do in my life. I'm in school for my bachelor's in substance abuse, so I can go on and help others like I was helped. I plan on going for my master's in it as well. So, I mean, I've got a lot more plans in my life that are for good than any negative that I had in my life. So, yeah. So I'm going to leave this little post with, if you're struggling, if you're on day 1, even thinking about getting sober, you're not weak. You're brave. You don't have to figure it all in one day. There are several days ahead of you. Take it one day at a time. You've got this. If you fail and slip, that's part of recovery. You know what you do? You just get right back up and try again. Recovery is not perfect, but you can do it. Now, if you are struggling and you don't have to say why, just drop us a heart. If you are sober, how long? Give other people that are struggling or just beginning faith that they know that they can do this too. One last thing. If nobody's told you today, I'm proud of you for being here. Seriously. 6 years ago, I didn't think I would be here. I didn't think this life was possible. And now I know it is. And now you know it is. Just keep going. You can do it. Don't forget to share this video. It could seriously help somebody else.